everyone and welcome to the Bidfood Kitchen. A really big welcome to anyone that joined us last October or even more recently at the Big Food and Drink Show, and a huge welcome to anyone new we have here today. So just a little bit of housekeeping to go through before we kick off the day. Just to say we are live in the kitchen here today, so if we do have any technical issues, please do bear with us. We have the fabulous Joe in the background who will be doing his best to sort that out. Secondly, just to say that we want this session to be as interactive as possible, so if you have any questions, pop them in the Q&A and we'll do our best to get through them. And finally, we really want you to relax and enjoy this webinar this morning, so we will be following it up with all the product codes, the recipes, the insights and all the recordings. They'll be on the website and you'll be getting an email with them. So please just sit back and enjoy this webinar this morning. So, moving on to what we're here to cover today. We're here ahead of the big indoor reopening on the 17th of May. We want to help you understand what's going to get your customers through the door and get bottoms on seats. So, through our consumer research, we have understood that customers are really missing global cuisines. Throughout lockdown, we haven't been able to travel, and they're now telling us that they really want to travel through their taste buds. Takeaway has been an absolute lifesaver for the hospitality industry. It's been great to have that revenue option, but unfortunately we have had to simplify our menus and work with products that work well with delivery. So consumers are really missing out on those slightly more exciting and exotic flavours that come with these global cuisines. We have done some research and we have found the top 5 cuisines that our consumers want to see when they're back indoors. These cuisines are in the following order: Japanese, Vietnamese, Middle Eastern, Thai and Caribbean. Now the good news is that 67% of these customers are also saying that they're willing to pay more for these cuisines. We think that this is due to an increase in scratch cooking throughout lockdown and a greater appreciation of the skill and the flavours involved in this type of cuisine. So, without further ado, I am now going to hand you over to Martin, who is going to cook us up an absolute storm based on the research that we have for you.
Thanks, Georgina, and welcome everybody. Good to be back in the kitchen. So, the first dish up is a Japanese salmon dish with udon noodles, a really sticky tamari mirin sauce with that. So, first up, we're going to get the salmon on, and this is from our Rockport range, skin on, so 170 to 200 grams, and we're going to get that over to the stove now. So off we go.
Just to reiterate, that is our Rockport range, which is our brand new fresh fish range, so make sure you check it out.
So what we're doing, relatively hot pan, a little splash of oil in there, and we're just going to sear that down before we pop it underneath the grill. So we'll leave that there for a second, and then we'll talk about the sauce and what's up on that next. So what we've got down here is, so the base of the sauce is some ginger, garlic. Like I said earlier, we've got some mirin, some tamari, a little bit of chili, some sesame and some maple syrup. And then obviously to go with the salmon, we've got the udon noodles here, which nice wheat noodles, nice and plump and ideal for this type of dish. And again, it's quite a versatile one because what you can do is actually change the toppings. So it might be that you want to marinate a steak, or you want to do a crispy tofu with that as well and put loads of different vegetables in it. So we're just going to go back over to the salmon and just pop that underneath the grill. Now it's started to cook, so get that under there. And then we'll start the sauce. So back over to the stove with us. So we're going to go ginger and garlic in the pan, like that. We're just going to sweat that off, just so we get the flavours going. Can you smell that?
Smells amazing,
yeah. So that's finely grated ginger and finely grated garlic. So all we're going to do is just cook that down for a little bit, and then, so we've got that. Then in with a few chili flakes, not a lot to start off with. We'll just see how that gets. A little bit of warmth in there. We've got that one. Then we're going to go in with the tamari, which is a Japanese soy sauce. It's gluten-free. So again, what we're looking for is not to reduce it too much so it's too thick, but just to release the flavours.
So we have had a question come in about the pack size of the salmon, Martin. So I think you said that it's 5 per pack and 170 grams, and then it's 200 per case.
No, so you've got no 5 fillets,
Oh, okay.
and then 170 to 200 grams per fillet.
Sorry, stand corrected.
So yeah, but again, it's quite a versatile. You know, it's freshly packed, backpacked for freshness. You know, you order it one day, you get it the next. So it's really, really, you know, a really good product to use for this. And like I said, you can use it on other dishes as well. Okay, so there's the base of the sauce. We're getting there. Then we're going to add the maple syrup for a bit of sweetness. So that goes in there.
As we mentioned on those pack sizes, just to say that we will be following up with the product codes and all the information for these products, so please don't worry if you do miss something.
So we're looking at the salmon now. We're just going to turn that over. And you see that beautiful crispy sort skin there. So that's the first one. And what we're going to do is actually pair this with, obviously, the udon noodles. And then we've got some British asparagus, which I've just done a little tempura of asparagus to go with it, just to sit on the top, and then just drizzle that with a citrus miso mayo.
That sounds amazing. That's such a good way to bring seasonality into the menu as well. Just to go through those top 5 cuisines again, because we've had a few questions come in, just to reiterate, that is Japanese, Vietnamese, Middle Eastern, Thai, and Caribbean were the top 5 that they have missed not being able to recreate in their own homes.
So what I'm also going to do is just for a bit of veg as well in there, just some green, you can do whatever you want basically, but I've just done some green beans, some tender stem broccoli, and then I'll just finish it with a little bit of sliced spring onions to give a bit of, so they're going in there very quickly, and then it'll soon be time to put the noodles in, because that salmon's not far off. So we'll just go back over here. So we'll just slice those spring onions down just to add at the last minute. So, and like I said, the udon noodles, they come in 200 gram packs, and they're quite versatile. Just give them a quick blanch off.
And are you using udon noodles because they are a bit more authentic in this dish, or? They
are Japanese udon noodles. You can use them for broths and other dishes within sort of the Japanese style of cooking. And again, quite versatile. You could use, I guess, egg noodles or rice noodles, things along that sort of line. So we'll just have a look at that salmon. Yeah, that's getting really nice now. So also what I've just put in there is some sesame seeds, just to give it a bit of a nutty flavour. So I've just toasted them off there. Don't go away, because I'm going to just thicken it off now, just with a little bit of corn flour.
Great question coming in here, Martin.
Yeah.
Is there any other fish from the Rockport range that you would recommend using for this?
You could use sea bass, maybe. Or maybe a nice piece of roasted cod with the skin on that we do, the supremes. They're really nice and chunky and fleshy, so that's good. Right, next up is the udon noodles into the sauce. So as you can see, look, so we're just going to pop those just to warm through into the dish. Right, so all we're going to do is just coat them so they look really, really glossy. And guess what? You get to try this as well.
I'm so excited. This is definitely the best job that we have.
So we've got those noodles in there, and again, it's sort of quite easy. You could make your sauce beforehand and just go literally udon noodles in, different vegetables, different toppings, like I said before. I'm just going to drop the tempura of asparagus in the fryer, and then we'll be ready to plate up. So we're going to bring this over here, look. So that's the noodles there, and then the salmon, what we're going to do So what you're looking for is something along those lines there. All right. So we're going to just plate this up now. There. You see a beautiful colour. Again, you don't want too much sauce. It's not. This one's not about broths. It's more about coating the noodles. So that's nice and done there. Then we're just going to pop this salmon onto the top, like so, like that. And it's great for, you know, obviously a main course, quite versatile again. So what else have we got? We've got some crispy onions, some spring onions.
So do you think you could make this dish vegan as well? Could you
Yes,
add different toppings to make?
Yeah, definitely. It's a really sort of versatile dish and a base as well to use. So we've got the asparagus coming. You know, a nice piece of tofu that's marinated in soy sauce and sesame, tumbled in corn flour and deep fried. Be lovely. So we've got that. Then we've got this beautiful British asparagus that we're just going to put on the top to give it a little bit of a dimension. Not all of it, obviously. Some's for me later. So we've got that.
And then looks like a really stunning dish as well.
It looks, I mean, it's quite a simple dish when you know, break it down. And then what we've got is some of this citrus miso mayo that I'm just going to drizzle on the top. All right. So that is your first dish.
Amazing. Can I come and get it?
We'll get, so that's just a recap. So that's the udon noodles with the tamari mirin sauce, some green vegetables in there, tempura of British asparagus, and the citrus miso mayonnaise.
Perfect.
There we
Amazing.
go. Try that one.
Keen to
see
try
what you think.
So just to reiterate, guys, as well, all of these recipes will be going up on the website in a couple of days, but also we can send them directly to you after following this up. So I am going to dig into this, which looks amazing, and I'm going to try and not embarrass myself eating this.
Positive feedback for that one.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm going to have to get my knife in here. Martin, that is amazing.
You like that one?
That is so good.
You get all those flavours, you know, the sweetness from the mirin and maple, and the tartness from the
That is incredible.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed that one.
That asparagus as well. It's so lightly battered. It's delicious.
Yeah, exactly, and it's really sort of, that's why sort of those different textures and flavours, and the citrus miso mayo goes so well with that as well.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Middle Eastern now, and there's been a bit of a upsurge in different flavours and things like that. So sumacs, zatars, zorg dressings, things like that. So what we're going to do on this one is really sort of simple dish. We've got some different grains in here. We've got a bulgur, we've got three-coloured quinoa. Yeah, three-coloured quinoa. I'll get my tongue
to say.
No. And then also what I've done this morning is I've just made some really easy flatbreads. So I've taken a dough ball, just defrosted it, pinned it out, and then rubbed it with a little bit of oil and popped it onto the char grill, and then drizzled it with za'atar, which is sesame seeds, oreganos, those types of flavours. And then what we're going to do with that is we've got a new ingredient, which is a vegan style feta, Greek style, which I've just marinated in olive oil and some lemon juice. And then we've got the cauliflower, simple but effective. So we've just quickly blanched that off. And then what we're going to do is a slightly sort of shawarma flavour to it. We've got sumac, cinnamon, smoked paprika, turmeric, salt, coriander, cumin, those types of flavours. And all we're going to do is literally just drop the cauliflower into there, So what I like to do is also use the stalks up as well, so you don't get too much wastage.
That's really good for that kind of, like reduced waste in the cooking, which is really nice to see.
And actually it's quite nice because you get those little sort of charcoaly bits on it, because what we're going to do is literally take it, marinate it very quickly, take it over to the char grill and just char grill it.
Amazing.
So here we go. So we've got the cauliflower in there, we've got all the spices, so that's going into there next.
So I think these kind of za'atar and these spices are the ones that actually sometimes consumers as well, they don't necessarily have that as a standard kind of store cupboard ingredient, and that's what they're maybe missing at home, why they want to see it indoors again.
Just a little bit of olive oil on there, just a little bit. And I guess you could use those same spices with our farmstead lamb or beef or chicken, skewer it, put it on the barbecue, or you know, anything like that would be ideal. Yeah. So just going to give that a bit of a tumble, and I also what I want to put in here is just a smidgen of lemon. There we go. Just to give it a little bit of tartness there. So
while Martin just does that, just to reiterate, that's he's talking about our farmstead range there, which is our range of fresh meat. So again, if you haven't heard about this range, make sure you're talking to your account manager and make sure you check out this range.
So what we're going to do, go over to the char grill and just pop that on for a few minutes, and then it won't be long until you can try your second dish. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. So let's go over. Now all we're going to do is just give it, because it's been pre-blanched, all we're going to do is just give it a bit of a char just to get those flavours going. So
those spices have added a really nice kind of colour to the cauliflower as well, haven't they?
Yes, yeah, they do. It's the turmerics and all of those, and the sumacs. So we're just going to leave that on there for a little while and then get back to the salad. So what I've done here is we've got a blackened lemon, which I've just popped onto the char grill. Like I said earlier, we've got some different grains there, and we've got some cucumber, tomato. So a little bit like a tabbouleh style salad. So that all goes in. And again, it's great because you can add other things to it.
This sounds like a really great dish, especially with the summer coming forward as well, because it sounds like there's a lot of fresh ingredients, lots of...
Very summery, and you know, we stock all of these ingredients through Oliver Kay and you know, our core listed bulgur wheats and things like that. So you know, you can get all of that. Now, what we've got here, obviously, is the base salad. Just going to put a little drop of olive oil on that before we add the dressing. I'm just going to nip back over here to see whether we're all right on the char grill.
So don't forget to send your questions in, guys. If you do have anything, if you've missed something, or you want to just know a little bit more about a range, please drop your questions in the Q&A. We have had one come in, Martin.
I was going to say it was a bit quiet. There was no questions. I was just like priming myself.
How did you cook the quinoa? Did you just boil that off? Or?
Just literally boil it off in a pan of salted water, bring it up to temperature and just drop it in. And that's it, basically.
And can you pre-cook that?
Yes, I did. I pre-cooked all of mine. So it's just, you know, you can get all of the prep ready. So it's just then an assembly job. So we've got that, what I also want to do, it's over here, is a little bit of chopped parsley in there, because that goes well. And then some chopped mint, which I've got here. So those sorts of flavours go really well with the dressing and, you know, the finished dish and feta and things like that. So
I think a lot of these Middle Eastern cuisines we're really seeing in the street food markets as well at the moment. So how you've made that wrap earlier, the shawarma wrap, I think that makes it a really kind of transportable carrier type product, doesn't it? So yeah. I think we're seeing a lot of those flavours come through there. Yeah,
exactly. So all I've done there is chopped it quite chunky, don't want it too fine, just to pop that through there. And then what we're going to do is add the zorg dressing, which is basically green chilli, cumin, olive oil, coriander, parsley, and a little bit of garlic. And I just toasted off the cumin seeds, put those through. So it's becoming quite a popular sort of style of dressing. Then I've also just blended some tahini through it.
Oh, lovely.
So you get that nice cream. Not, you know, it gives it some body to.
Is that going to blow my head off now? When
No,
I
it's
eat
not.
it?
No, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. I think the original sort of Zorg, sort of the Yemeni style of cuisine. So that's where it originated from. Just going to go and grab this cauliflower now, because I think we should be there. Oh yes, see, look, that's what we're looking for. Those little charred bits that are really nice. And I know you've been wanting to try the vegan feta, haven't you?
I am very excited for the vegan. I want to see. The big question is, does it taste like feta?
Well, we'll see, won't we? I'll let you decide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve it in a big bowl like this. So I'm going to pop the flatbread in the base of the bowl so that you can, and build it up from there. So you can tear bits off, or in essence, you could actually roll it and eat it as a food to go. So we've got that there.
That's really good for kind of adding that diversity, because I think we do know that outdoor dining is here to stay. People have invested heavily in it. So, you know, why we really want to push people indoors at the moment when it reopens, having that option of flexibility across your menus is great.
Yeah. So what we've got here is obviously the dressing. We're just going to put a dessert spoon, first of all, in there, maybe a little bit more. Don't worry, it won't blow your head. And we're just going to mix that together. And then again, I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice in there, like so. No more questions coming through yet.
We have had a couple of questions. Sorry, I was fascinated by watching you
You're
cook.
watching me cook, aren't you?
Yeah. We've had a question come through about other trends to think about when we're cooking. And I think, as we're seeing as well here, I mean, vegan is a big one that we're talking about at the moment.
Yeah.
That's here to stay. It's then. But also, if you want to have a look at the trends that we're predicting for the year, make sure you've checked out our Bidfood Trends 2021. So that goes through a list, a whole wealth of trends that they've got: health and wellness, you've got cooking in the home, and this kind of scratch cooking like I talked about earlier. But also things that we're seeing in the restaurant come through exactly like this. So we've actually got a trend that's called cuisines and global, so particularly that kind of global fusion, anything goes approach. It's all detailed in that document, so we can send that out to you guys as well when we do the follow-up from this. So that's a really great document. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out.
Brilliant. So we're going to assemble the dish. So we've got our salad here, which as you can see looks quite fresh. And we're just going to pile it up onto the flatbread. And again, you know, you could serve some other dips with it. You know, we've got those in the range. We've got some sauces at the front there, Middle Eastern hot sauce, which packs a bit of a punch, to be honest with you.
I think these are the sauces that we were talking about, Martin.
Yes, there's one there. It's a Middle Eastern one, so it does pack a bit of a punch. So,
perfect.
So we're going to do that there. So that's that one.
We've also had a little bit of a question about what other vegan cheeses we have in our range.
So yeah, there's quite a few now. This is one of the newer ones. Last week I covered off. I think there was a cream cheese style one. There's the feta. So yeah, we've got, you know, the cheddars and the mozzarella styles grated. So yeah, there's sort of plenty around.
Do you know off the top of your head if we have a halloumi in the range?
We are actually bringing a grilling halloumi in.
That's very
So yes, so that could be one to use as well. Right, okay, so I'm going to just pop this cauliflower on the top. There. And there's some sort of beautiful colours there, and then what I'm going to do is just finish off with the little bits of stalk, like so. So we've got that. And then obviously the feta style, which I've been marinating there. Again, you could put the grilling halloumi on here as well.
That's really exciting. We've got that halloumi coming in a range, especially with barbecue season coming up.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
such a great option.
Exactly. We've got that there. So that's that one. And then what we've also got is our little charred lemon. I'm just going to put another dollop of this beautiful dressing on the top, like so. Like that. And then just a bit of freshness, just some mint over the top of that. So that is, we'll just recap on that one. So that's your flatbread, which was freshly made this morning using our everyday favourites dough balls, some za'atar on the char grill, a bulgur style salad with mint, cucumber, tomato, zorg dressing, some feta, and a shawarma style cauliflower cooked on the char grill.
Looks amazing.
So that's that one. So you can try that
Am
one
I
as well.
going again? Yes.
You're going again, yes.
That's what I'm excited about. Oh, that is amazing. So I'm excited to try this feta actually.
It's the silence, just in case you don't like it, I'm going to stand back over here.
That is really nice. Really, the spices on that really come through, even through the sort of tabbouleh style dressing, salad that you've done. Really lovely. And this feta is, that's good.
You like that?
That's really good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, like that salty
it's like,
kind of.
Yeah, there is that saltiness to the, which, you know, you would hope that that is the case with something that is a feta style and that type of thing.
That's really good. I'm going to go for some flatbread now as well. I'm getting stuck in.
Yeah, please do. Yes, it's all there.
That's really nice and soft. Lovely. Thank you. I think we're ready for the next dish now.
Yeah? Okay, so what we're going to do next is a bit of a Vietnamese dish. So it's a bun char, which I sort of had when I went travelling in 2019, seems so long ago, which is why I want to go travelling again at some point. So the char is the grilled pork part, which is, it's almost like a pork patty, flavoured with chilli, lemongrass, some ginger, garlic, chilli, which I've got here, some farmstead pork mince, and then I've actually put it into a bun. So just to give that difference, and you can obviously outdoor eating, things like that to the table. So this is ideal for that. So what I've done is a little slaw mix here, which we'll talk about in a little while. The marinade for the pork, and then we're ready to go. So first up, the pork mince from Farmstead, in with the garlic, ginger and chilli, like that, and give that a good mix. And then also in with that, a little drop of fish sauce.
This one I am actually really excited for. It looks like such a different burger and it's such a different option to have on your menu. I think it's a really great one. If you're going to offer that burger option, this really stands out as something that actually you wouldn't be eating this at home. You would definitely be out, and again, driving that kind of premiumization element of it. It's really excited about this dish.
So what we've got here is, I'm just giving that a good mix together, and they in Vietnam, they just do the little patties, and it's served with rice noodles and a salad, very sort of street foody. But like I say, I've turned it into a couple of burgers. So what we're going to do is, you get that flavour of the fish sauce and the chilli coming through. So we're going to go over and just char grill these. But like any good show, I've got some prepared.
So your inspiration for this, Martin, you said you went travelling.
I did.
Where have you been travelling to?
Well, I went to Thailand, and then I got close to the border of Vietnam, so there was that sort of crossover of cuisines, and I loved it. I honestly can't wait to go back when we can. But this is the next best thing. And
exactly how we said earlier, people are really starting to miss that travel. We know millennials, particularly even before lockdown, they were traveling a lot based on their culinary preferences. And therefore, what we're really seeing is exactly how I said earlier, that they really want to now travel through their taste buds because they can't go abroad and get those foods that they've been missing and really loving.
That's right, you just caught me washing my hands. Sorry. So what we've got next is, while they're cooking away, like I said, I've got some here that I prepared earlier. I'm just going to pop those in there. And with that, along with that, I've got this beautiful tamarind sticky chili sauce. So it's more like a mopping sauce than anything. And what I'm going to do is we'll just now, so all I've done is taken, we've got a tamarind sauce within our ranges, and then just mix that with some red wine vinegar, some sugar, tomato ketchup, so like a bit like a sweet and sour.
And again, you've pre-made that sauce.
Yeah.
It's really easy
yeah,
to...
exactly. I'm just going to pop these buns underneath the grill for a minute. Keep an eye on those for me.
Don't forget about them.
Yeah, don't forget about them. Now with the salad, so any sort of slaw mix will do. This is just a red cabbage, carrot. I'll put some coriander in there. And then what I'm going to do is just finish it off. You didn't keep an eye on the buns,
sorry,
did you?
Martin. I'm honestly, I'm hooked on what you are making. I'm so involved in it. I wouldn't make a great chef myself.
A little bit of oil, but they're not too bad, so that's all right. I'll let you off. So what I put in there was fish sauce, a little bit of oil, some sugar, only a little bit, just to give it a bit of sweetness, some lime, and then what we're going to do is we're going to build the burger in a second, and then just probably put a little bit more. What I'm going to do is finish it off with a coriander. Do you like coriander?
Love it.
Oh, excellent.
It's quite a mixed bag, isn't it? People
It
love
is,
it or hate
yeah,
it, but yeah, I'm all for it.
So we've got that. Just pop that there. So what we're going to do, we're going to build this up. So bun on, and so with the mopping sauce, I've just coated, so I've pre-char grilled these off, and then just coated a little bit of the sauce on. But you'll see in a minute how I'm going to finish it off. So we've got that. And then, so that burger, actually, first of all, the slaw. Let's get it the right way round. So that's sort of, you can leave it for 10 to 15 minutes just to marinate and get those flavours going in there. So that goes on there like so. And I don't mind if the bits fall off and things like that. I think it makes more of a...
Adds a bit to the dish.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got all that freshness in there. So with that, I'm going to put the burger on like so. And these, I'm just using a brioche bun, so nothing that, could be too hard to get hold of. Then I'm just going to drizzle down some of this sauce. So that just falls down there like that. And then not forgetting the rice noodle part, because obviously that's the salad that goes with the bun char. So all I've done is just deep fried some rice noodles and just pop those on. And that gives another little bit of a crunch to it. And then we're going to finish off with a nice bunch of coriander, and then the top bun there, like so, and then just a little bit more sauce just to run down. There we go. All right.
That just looks great. It looks like
so
such
that
a burger.
Is your bun char burger with Vietnamese style pork and the marinated salad. All right.
So we've had a really good question come in while I kind of whisk this away and take a bite. And we've had a really good question about cooking, and you're using so many spices in this type of cooking. Do you think it's still necessary to season with just salt and pepper, or have you avoided them?
I mean, you can just season with salt and pepper, or you don't have to, because I always find
about adding them as well as the seasoning.
I think a little bit of salt always helps. I know we need to reduce salt, but just that little bit just helps it out. So I would always just add a little bit of salt to it, just to add that extra flavour.
So I'm just going for the burger here, otherwise I'm going to make a fool of myself, but...
And I think we just have a little bit of thyme also.
All right.
What do you think?
Good.
Is that good?
That's our farmstead pork.
Yeah,
as
farmstead pork mince,
Really
and I've
lovely.
just mixed it with, like I said, some chilli, garlic, ginger, fish sauce, little touch of sugar to give it a bit of caramelisation when it cooks.
And loving the noodle, gives a bit of crunch, which is quite different in a burger. Really nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, so I think we have got a couple of minutes just to also talk about the other two cuisines, which I've got these two pre-prepared, which you can try as well if you wish. This one is a Thai Gai Tod. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's basically you get chicken wings, coat them in soy sauce, and then into either corn flour or, in this case, I've used self-raising because it gives a bit of a crunch. When you deep fry it, it gives that crunchy little gnarly bits on the outside. And what we've done is coated it with I think it's here somewhere, so our Thai honey sticky sauce, mixed with a little bit of sriracha and some lime juice, and obviously Unity, pairing well with one of our beers there. Which one it is now?
Yes, I think it's the Ashai beer here.
Yeah.
Asai, I'm never not sure how. So that's just to reiterate that that's our Unity range. So these is a range of wine, beers and spirits, and we have actually paired our dishes today. So I think this bottle of nice red wine, I think was paired actually with the cauliflower dish that we had. I think we had a Riesling paired with the Japanese salmon dish. And we've had these kind of great Asian beers paired with this more street food element that we have here. So that's our Unity range. So again, make sure you are checking that out if you don't know about that. So back to Martin.
Back to my chicken wings. Yes, so we've got sesame seeds in there, Thai sticky chili sauce, and then deep fry the chicken wings and then just tumble them through together. And then we've just served it with a little coriander salad. So if you would like to try one of those, or you might want to leave that one
I'll
to
leave
last.
that one. Yeah. I'm getting quite full from these tasters. I've just had my breakfast.
The last one we've got here is a Cuban dish. So it's almost like a potato croquette. And that's actually filled with a picadillo beef, which is slow cooked beef with capers, olives, raisins to give a bit of fruitiness, and using a tomato base really slowly cooked down. And then basically all you do is you get mashed potato. Well, I grated these, and then you fill it, roll it, and then coat it in semolina and deep fry it. So you can make these up in advance, ideal for smaller dishes, you know, that type of thing. You could bring a few of these different cuisines together and make a nice little menu from that. So yeah, and we've done it a salsa Corolla, which is tomato, red onion, there's some chili in there and bits and garlic. So what the idea is, you break it open, put a little bit of the salsa on, and away you go. So that one you can actually try.
That looks great. I think, like you said as well, these dishes are really adding the kind of, you could have that as a starter, you could have it as a side, you could have it as to go, like that's really adding kind of a premium, maybe sit down element to a meal, but also making sure that you can kind of diversify that menu relatively easily as well. So that is looking great. So before we head off, Martin, we have had a few questions in.
Okay.
So the first question is about the bun char burger. Could you make that vegan, veggie? How would you go about seasoning something? I'm thinking the halloumi burger.
Yeah, you could. Obviously you couldn't use fish sauce. You couldn't use, but there's other ways of seasoning and flavouring those. Some chopped coriander, chopped mint, things like that. Chili, just marinating it in with some olive oil, some lime juice. So those sort of fresh flavours, and then literally just char grilling it, and away you go. A vegan, obviously, brioche. We do vegan brioche style buns, so you could do that quite easily. Yeah.
I think what's really great about having you guys as chefs here at Bidfood is the fact that if there is anything like that on your menu, we can work with you guys to bring that to life and kind of bring those to the menus. So, another question here. When we're mixing these kind of global spices, is it an anything goes? Do you have to bring a balance to your spices? How do you kind of start going about mixing them?
I think it's a difficult. I mean, a lot of people are using the sort of different flavours within different components of the dish. They still have to be balanced. Everything has to have a balance of a flavour, but there's nothing wrong with sort of mixing up the cuisines, which we've seen. You know, fried chicken in a bao bun and things like that. You know, it's all, it's all doable, but you just need to balance it and make sure you are, not doing it for doing sake.
No, I think there's that kind of, like we said, that premiumisation. I think lockdowns made people really think about the provenance of their food, and actually these dishes can lend themselves really well to using kind of British core ingredients, but mixing them with those kind of global spices to bring that together.
I actually used also in this one the farmstead brisket, which we slow cooked down, which again is quite a nice way of utilising our brands and within dishes. So yeah, it's quite a nice one.
Okay. So the final question that we have for you, Martin. So obviously cuisines such as Indian, they lend themselves very well naturally to vegetarian and vegan dishes. So the top 5 dishes, just to go through them again, like Japanese, Vietnamese, Middle Eastern, Thai and Caribbean. Yep. If you had to choose one or you had to recommend, which route would you go down if you were trying to develop a vegetarian or a vegan menu?
I'd probably, maybe the Middle Eastern one. Yeah, I think that works quite well because you've got so many of those different spices and flavours, and you've got different grains and different breads and all of that sort of thing, harissas, all of that sort of thing. So yeah, I think probably down that route. Or I might go Thai as well.
Always a favourite.
Yes, yeah.
Right, so I think that is all we have got time for today, but just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that has tuned in today. We really hope that you have found it useful and informative. Just to reiterate, we will be following it up, like I said, product codes, recipes, everything will be coming your way, so please don't panic about that. Please get in touch with your account managers if you have seen anything that you've loved here today. Just to say, we are back at 2 o'clock today with David King and Chef Martin talking about how to, not Chef Martin even, Chef Craig, Martin's done for the day, talking about how to incorporate health and wellness onto your menus. So, as I said, thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. There will be a quick poll that's going to come up on your screens. If you could just leave us a bit of feedback for your session so we can keep improving them, that would be great. So thank you for tuning in.